White House officials have confirmed that the United States would begin withdrawing from Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty (INF Treaty) with Russia. U.S. President Donald Trump had earlier made it clear that he intended to withdraw from the INF Treaty, blaming Russian noncompliance. America has provided Russia with a 6-month window to get back to compliance. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg told the BBC, "All European allies agree with the United States because Russia has violated the treaty for several years. They're deploying more and more of the new nuclear-capable missiles in Europe." He also stated that the 6-month period the U.S. had given Russia to return to full compliance should be taken advantage of. Russia has denied violating the INF Treaty. Russian President Putin said, "Our American partners announced that they're suspending their participation in the treaty, and we're suspending it too. All of our proposals in this sphere, as before, remain on the table. The doors for talks are open." He added Russia would start developing new missiles. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes what is Dead Hand System and why is Russia activating the dreaded system. Let's get started. INF Treaty was signed by Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev in 1987. It banned ground-launched missiles with ranges from 500 kilometers to 5,500 kilometers. The INF Treaty eliminated around 2,700 nuclear and conventional missiles, as well as their launchers. This was achieved by May 1991. This included short-range missiles with 500 to 1,000 kilometer or 310 to 620 mile range, and intermediate range missile with 1,000 to 5,500 kilometer or 620 to 3,420 mile range. The treaty had provisions for 10 years of on-site inspections. INF Treaty went a long way in ending the serious standoff between U.S. Pershing and cruise missiles and Soviet SS-20 missiles in Europe. It should be noted that the treaty does not cover sea-launched missiles. On November 29, 2017, speaking at the Wilson Center, National Security Council official Christopher Ford had revealed that the weapon violating the INF Treaty was the Novator 9M729, having NATO designation of SSC-8. This newly developed missile is reported to be derived from 3M14 caliber NK land-based cruise missile, and probably uses some design elements of KH-101 air-launched cruise missile. There is limited information on the missile, but it's expected to use Transport Erector Launcher. This missile is thought to be guided by inertial navigation system. As per the United States, Novator 9M729 is land-based and has a range between 500 kilometers to 5,500 kilometers, depending on fuel load and warhead use. This makes the missile violate the terms of the INF Treaty. The 9M729 is capable of hitting targets throughout Western Europe with tactical nuclear warheads in the event of a conflict. In December 2017, the U.S. government had sanctioned a number of companies involved in the production of the 9M729, including lead contractor Novator. In general, a nuclear missile launch is a multi-step process with multi-level authorization. First, the higher authorities need to provide permission, which, after going down the chain of command, reaches the missile operator. For this, a secret code is transmitted to them. The missile operators, on receiving the codes, initiate the launch sequence. But this can be tricky, as it could take time and also not work if a preemptive strike disables the communication systems. The time factor is especially complicated for Russia if U.S. decides to deploy missiles in Europe after withdrawal from INF Treaty. Russia needs ICBMs launched from Russian soil or launched from submarines to strike the United States. But shorter-range US missiles deployed in Europe, like Germany or Poland, could reach the Russian mainland very quickly, most likely within 2 to 3 minutes. This leaves very little time for Russian strategic forces to react. This is where dead hand, also referred to as perimeter, comes in. Dead hand is one of the most horrifying systems deployed during the Cold War era. The system is designated to automatically launch missiles during a nuclear attack on Russia without needing elaborate manual human intervention. So it will work even when the Russian command chain is taken out by a preemptive nuclear strike. Dead hand works by launching specially designated SS-17 ICBMs when it detects seismic evidence of a nuclear explosion on Russian soil, or finds that the communication channels are crippled, or detects radioactivity, or overpressure sensors get triggered. These missiles don't carry warheads but have a special module. The module transmits a launch signal to nuclear-tipped ICBMs, which are housed in their silos in different parts of Russia. Once this signal is received by the nuclear missiles, they automatically get launched and start their flight toward the predefined targets. This technically means there's no going back once dead hand takes over.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.